Greetings, fellow axe dwarves. Radamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress, Taming the Wilds, Episode 13, Perimeter Moat. Right at the start here, I am going to have you guys decide on what sort of priority we're going to prioritize. So, it's between production and management improvements, community and comfort improvements, military and defenses, or beautification and organization. You can sort of pick the larger category, and I will break it down into its subcategories. So, in about 5 minutes, I will have a true and honest priority from you guys. But until then, I am off to make trouble where I see fit. Alright, I'm not going to mess with my... I'm not going to mess with my military, because I know it messes with the poles. So I'm going to keep that hidden. I think right now it's just war dogs trying to eat a monkey. And we do have a caravan here that I wanted to trade with. As you can see in my priorities up top, trade with the caravan. So let's move some bins of stuff to them. And this is, I believe, the human caravan. One of the things I was planning on doing is I'm going to try to phase out my backpacks. There's a few tips that I received on YouTube, despite the fact that I've asked for no tips. But there's a few tips, like armor racks are broken, backpacks are kind of bugged, stuff like that. So, one of the reasons to get rid of the backpacks is that the squad members that I have in the military end up sticking food in their backpacks and then empty their backpacks into the bedrooms, and then the food rots and it makes a big old mess. So, that would be one of the reasons to phase out backpacks if possible. Are kennels a thing for dogs in Dwarf Fortress? They are. You can build a cage and stick dogs in a cage. Cages are a little weird. They can hold like infinite creatures. So one cage could hold all dogs. And then you can set it up in a way where like a pressure plate opens up the cage. So it springs like a dog trap or something like that. There's a bunch of different ways to use caged animals like that. Diplomacy. So, nothing is different, is what they told me. I'm going to ask for... I'm not even going to... let's see. I'm going to ask for bolts. I'm not planning on buying them. And then they want drinks and splints. Well, a dwarf would never part with drinks, so good luck with that. And we are going to run that trade. Fabby, thank you for the bits. And Double Dwarf, a fitting name, thank you for the resub. And welcome, Double D. Alright, we're just waiting on Happy Little Tree, our Baroness broker, to show up at the access depot. There we go. Alright, let's see what we want here. Not a whole lot so far. A yak bull, male yak bull, in a lead cage, maybe a snail. Why would I buy a snail? Another male mule. I'm not gonna bother with that. I'll buy some bags. Whoa, not that one. That's expensive. I mean, I could surely afford it, but it's just a fancy bag. No thanks. Some cloths and wools. Because they are definitely the hardest thing for our people to source ourselves. It's possible to just plant a bunch of pigtails or whatever, but it's easy enough to just turn stone into trade goods and then buy what we want. And also buy... You know what? I'm not even going to bother with the prepared meat. I don't think it's necessary. Scrolling down to see if they have any plump helmets, but they don't. Alright, that's good enough. Now, selling off porcelain junk and backpacks. And I'm going to have to disband the squad at some point, or at least cycle everybody out of the squad to get rid of the backpacks that I don't want them to have. Annoying, but whatever. Once it's done, it's done. I won't make any more. There's also some work orders that I need to change. I have a lot of work orders outstanding that that need fixing. Isn't that right, Mr. Yoda? This is a pretty good amount of stuff to buy. A lot of fabrics. One of the projects that you might end up voting on is for me to create actual work districts, not this sort of temporary layout that I have now. But I will look at that poll in just a second as soon as I'm done trading. I'm definitely going to have to part with some gems because I'm asking for a lot. I could probably get rid of some of these toys too. I made toys on a repeat loop and made a whole heck of a lot of them. There we go. Finally in the yellow, as you can see in the bottom left. And once we're in the green, we're good. There we go. Trade. Okay, ooh, there's a snatcher here. Oh no, just a little monkey. Looks like military and defense improvements. Got it. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So the current priority is build a perimeter. That's the defensive goal that I want to work on. So for that, let's actually plan it out. So the way it's going to work is this is our entryway. Duh. And I want to keep this entryway protected the best I can. One obvious way to do that would be to surround it with like a dry moat wall system. Now, I have done some testing, and what I did find is that the dry moat wall system sometimes breaks the trade depot, even though there's very obviously a 3-wide path to get there. Why did the trader make that much profit? Because they demand a profit for their travel, the reputation that I have with them, and then also the skill of the trader. All right. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, no, that's not planning mode. Let's try this again. Plan mode. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 6, 9, 12, 15. So 15 up and down. Let me zoom out a little bit. And then 3, 6. Actually, I'm going to go to the right first. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 23. Yeah. So, because I want to incorporate these pawns into the, 24 I meant, into the perimeter walls, I'm going to go a little further east and west. So 3, 6, 9, 18, 21. All right. So there we go. That leaves our ramp dead center. It also prevents, one of the other things is it will make it so that, I'm going to have to be careful about not getting too close to the brook, because that is a sort of infinite source of water in the not frozen seasons. So I'm going to be digging a trench shaped somewhat like this. And that gives us the ability to farm on the surface and then also have a pasture on the surface. I did one less down. Let me double check that. I believe you though. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yep, you are correct. Let's go ahead and fix that. Considerable terraforming, as you can see. And then my plan is to dig this trench down to the dolomite level. One of the reasons to do that is that dirt or grass can sprout trees. And actually 2 trees on either side of your moat can create a branch bridge allowing, or if trees spring in your moat, it can create a branch bridge to allow invaders to actually invade because you've offered them a odd tree branch path to siege you. So, them's the plans, and I'm just gonna go. Let's get rid of the plan tool, and I'm gonna channel this out. Where this hill is, or whatever you want to call it, is gonna be a little bit different though, because I'm gonna have to chip away at this. But yep, that's the plan. So then something else I want to do is let's make some cinnabar, more shale blocks, and then some cinnabar blocks as well. I'm going to highlight some of this in cinnabar. And centering the F1 right over, I'm going to call this entry ramp. Right over the entry ramp. Cool. Alright, so the alerts, none of these are relevant anymore. Oh, I did want to fix some of the tasks that I had. So I had 1, 2, 3 to clear. And then I'm also going to clear out the... Oh, I just cleared a cloth piece of clothing. Oh, well. Fix that later. Skeletor, thank you for the follow. And Wotaler, thank you for the resub. And welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, there we go. So this mountain is getting mined out. And then I'm also going to mine out the mountain so that it's not abruptly adjacent to my moat as well. So dig it back a little bit. And it looks like literally 0 dwarves have started this. That's okay. Alright, I'm also going to pause the lavish meal production. And then any other tasks that are recurring that we don't need immediately, I'm going to hold off on so that we have more workforce. This is a heavy job, but the faster I do it, the better. There we go. I can see the mining starting to happen. Perfect. All right, while we work on that, let's see if I can't make Shem a little happier. So Shem wants to fight and get martial training. I'm going to create a new squad. No uniform. Assign a leader, Shem. And Shem, you can start training. Actually, you know what? I am going to assign you the Axe Dwarves uniform. So that you can go kill something too. Because one of his two desires was to fight and train. So we'll just let him do that. In terms of training, the other thing I need to do is like throw a little training barracks up, but that's fine. Actually, technically this is a training room, but it doesn't matter. So we can train there. Good. This is just so that I might end up expelling Shem. If he's such a downer, it's probably not worth keeping him forever. But if it's possible to hold on to him, I'll try. Alright, I don't have a lot of cinnabar yet. We're working on the blocks. But I wanted to make it a lot more obvious on the surface where our entryway hole is so that it stands out. I'm also going to start digging a northern stairwell down to the level that the pit will eventually get to, so that our workers can have access to it. Other things that need to happen is any tree that is in the way. And I think, just by chance, only 2 trees are in the way? Maybe 3? Yeah. No, there's a few extra trees in the way. Any tree in the way is going to get lumberjacked out of the way before the elves force some sort of hug the tree agreement with me. Because I at least for now, I'm likely to sign a, like, please don't cut down the trees agreement, just so that I'm not making too many enemies at once. Because our starting location here is legitimately surrounded. If we center on the fort, all of these sort of darkened dots here are goblins. So we're relatively surrounded by goblin towns and cities. So we got to be careful about who we piss off. Don't want to piss off too many people at once. Not until our military is truly ramped up. Where we have rotating, training militia. Kind of important if you want to live. Or I guess you could full turtle, but that comes with its own set of challenges, I suppose. So I did mention it briefly, but one of the things I should do is to explain the benefits of this. So one obvious benefit is that we'll have access to outside. And access to the outside means that we can avoid cave adaptation, which makes our dwarves basically undergrounders for life, where they hate the sun and they'll puke and be irritated out in the sun. It will also open up the ability to have a protected pasture for our animals that are herbivores that eat grasses. And then it will also allow us to take on enemy sieges a little bit more easily with a perimeter wall. Because without a perimeter wall, you'll find yourself in a situation where you would be fighting here. And this is a lot harder to hold. This is a good fallback point, but that's about it. What's the ideal population for the scenario? There's no ideal. I would say controlled. For this scenario, it would be as much as I can accommodate reasonably. Which is why I have my population cap where it is. I want to slowly ramp up the population cap rather than have a pop explosion. Because pop explosions can often end up in a huge increase of wealth, and then demands that are hard to meet, and then colony collapse. At least in my experience. My inexperience, I should say. So, we have a Feymood by a carpenter. Is it possible to add magma or lava to the trench after the fact? It is, yes. It, depending on how you build your trench, it actually can weaken it, though. Because there are creatures that can swim over magma. Whereas, if you design your trench with, like, an overhang, it will at least keep out the... Holy heck. It will at least keep out the lava swimmers, the magma swimmers. So, oddly enough, a dry trench tends to be better. Also, magma trenches have the disadvantage of destroying everything. And ALS Gamer, thanks for all the gifted subs. Holy heck. Cheers, dude. That is a lot. Damn son, indeed. I'm gonna choke in my coffee. Luckily, my medical bills for choking on my coffee is already paid for. Oh, man. Well, welcome. Pleasure to have you here, as always. Enough gifted subs that just about everybody in the chat is now a sub. Alright, it's raining and everyone kind of slowed down. So let's take a look at our crankiest. Shem. You still have not met your martial training requirement because you're sleeping. And you blame me for this? Is the thunderstorm sounds in game? Yes. Yes, they are. And I am slowly channeling out this so it's not a dangerous, death-defying overhang. And then once this is channeled out, I'll finish the perimeter. The other thing I ought to do is the floors here. This is approximately where a bridge will be built. I'll put blocks down for it. Oh, we did just have a collapse. I hope everyone's okay. You are fine. Maybe stunned, but you're fine. Yeah, you'll see eventually what the final project here is. I'm working on it. Very early trench building. Takes a minute for it to take form where it's going to be recognizable. Hey, bud. Any plan for outdoor farming? Well, that will be up to you and how you guys vote. Okay, looks like the Fey Mood is creating something out of iron bars, shale, jasper's bone, and willow logs. Cool. I like it. Hopefully it's useful. Alright, we are almost done channeling out the overhanging mountain so that we don't have, like, enemies don't have a height advantage on us. And Zach Dyer, thanks for the gifted sub. And created a willow armor stand. Okay. That's just insulting. I didn't want a willow armor stand. But fine. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is channel out one more level. Or actually, maybe I'll ramp it out so that it's nice and smooth. There we go. That wasn't even ramped out, was it? Yeah, I failed at that. Alright, let's try that again. Eventually, there's not going to be any mountain left. I'm just going to keep shaving it till the edge of the map, huh? And something just popped up. A miner's fighting, but that's probably the collapse. The caravan's leaving. Yeah, it was the collapse. Oh, you're fine. So the first scoured lair is just about done. One of the first things I want to do is build the bridge so that we don't restrict access. With that said, I fully expect it to be a little buggy because in testing when I did this, sometimes the wagons wouldn't show up anyway. Oh, really? Really? You just smashed and collapsed on... Okay, well, that's our first death. Rip to our carpenter, who is found badly crushed. I'm not really sure how that happened, to be honest, because there's nothing above him. So he managed to defy what I'm going to consider is gravity and threw silt on top of them and then play dead or something. So one of the things that you can do when someone dies is you can engrave a slab for them, which is not exactly necessary if you have a corpse in most cases, but it's so that they don't haunt you. Let's clear this out. So in a minute, we should see one of these tombs fill up with that carpenter's body. May they be remembered for their engineering lack of prowess. Alright, and then let's get the bridges, and I'm going to have the bridges be the same as the bridges we had before. Maybe cinnabar blocks this time, rather than just raw cinnabar, or rough cinnabar. It'll be a little bit easier to haul the blocks, because cinnabar is really heavy. Oh, there is awkwardly a tree just sort of hovering there. Let me get that tree too. Okay, I think the first layer got done. So now I'm going to remove the ramps from this area. As you can see, I got as close to this brook as possible without, you know, going into the brook. And then I also, on the other side, I want to do the same stairwell. So 1, 2, 3, down to the dolomite. The clothier revealed the presence of the frosty barricade to a human bowman, so they might come back and try to steal it. Gotta keep an eye on that. Don't share my secrets. Alright, so something else that I could do is build some walls. While we trench. I'm deciding to build up and down at the same time. Speaking of the death, let's make sure that it's... Yep, so there he is. Deceased. With the corpse and everything. And then what you could do is go into furniture, slabs, and then pick the memorial slab. Memorializing this fine fellow. I'll even smooth out the tomb. Not that I have the spare manpower, but I'm going to do it anyway. Good thing that the tomb was already planned. Yes, probably. So here we go. Wall-crafted memorial. Slab reads, in memory of Eineth, crushed while collapsing a ceiling. Even though I would argue that there was no ceiling above him. He just had a very dainty head. Alright, and there's our cinnabar bridge. Cool. And then we're going to... Oh, yeah, both are done. Smooth out that stone so it's not in the way of the bridge. This one, too. In fact, any boulder that's within our pasture can be smoothed at this point. Okay. And then we have stairwells on both sides. Good. Is it possible to pave ramps? I've actually already done that. The top two ramps here are jet block paved ramps. And let me continue to pave these ramps. I was meaning to. So that they're just not rough stone. Oh, didn't mean to do that, though. Whoop. Cancel. There we go. Cosmetic, obviously. Serves no purpose other than I have a really cool ramp. You like the way that Jet looks in this tile set? Yeah, me too. That's why I'm using it. I don't have a lot of Jet, though. I mostly have Shale. That's sort of the default rock and the layer of the base. All right. Why only the leftmost 2 ramps? Why not go left and right, you mean? Just for ease. So if invaders are coming, I have to pull 2 switches, not 4. 4 switches is, more. I could have just done 1. The advantage to do 2 bridges over 1 is if a siege is, blocking up one side, I have the option of trying to go out the other side. Not that I think that's likely to happen, but at least it gives me options in the case of a siege. All right, Shem, let's check back on you before you... Oh, you, no, that's not true. That was weird. There we are. So, you want to fight something, and also be with friends. So let's have you fight first. That's pretty easy to fulfill. Go kill this little animal here. All right, now that this layer is all peeled back, let's channel it down again. I'm going to have the channel be a 3 priority. Throwing down the jet ramp. Oh, and is that Shem? Yeah, it must be. Next dwarf Shem. Killed the little creature. Alright, so taking a look at Shem again. You fulfilled your need to fight, so you want acquire object. Be creative. Alright, so let's try to do acquire object and be creative. So for him, what that means is I'm going to make a large rock gem out of bauxite repeatedly. This workshop is only going to be for Shem. This is, so I'm doing this not because I particularly care about Shem, but it's sort of a way for me to practice making people happy. I'm going to disband that squad, so Shem will eventually take off his arms and armor. And then up here, let's go ahead and get the levers for the bridges. Oh, you know, I have to be careful not to block the ramp with levers. So... I will put the levers one here and one here. I'm gonna change the way I have this laid out then. I could always have the levers down below as well. I don't need them up here necessarily. And I can change my mind about this if I want to, right? Like, I don't have to get it perfectly first iteration. That's not likely to happen. Highland Timber, thank you for the resub. Wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to gently raise the pop cap as well. So I'll consider that once I make a little bit more progress on this moat. I intend to gradually raise it up over time so that I don't spike it and get punished with the consequences. All right, this tree needs to go. I see the problem. I queued it up to be cut a level up, which is not passable. Get rid of this tree too. I think those are the only trees in my perimeter. So once they're cut down, it'll be a little bit easier to build. Now this project here does absolutely nothing against flyers. Nothing at all. Because flyers are going to easily go over those walls like it's nothing. So that's something to consider as well. The first pass at this, so that this project doesn't take a year and a day, well, might actually take a year and a day in game, but the first pass at this is not going to, gonna try to defend against every possible incursion. Like, I'm not designing it for flyers initially. All right, so let's name this. This is North Bridge and South Bridge. I'm very creative with my names. And then this is South Bridge Lever. And you could hook this up so that it's like one lever all bridges. But I want to be able to control them individually. All right, so North Bridge Lever, South Bridge, South Bridge Lever, and South Bridge. Good. All right. The miners just started to trench and channel out the next layer. But I'm trying to do this project quickly. There are flying enemies too? Yes, there are. And a caravan has just arrived. So we should be able to see this caravan use these bridges and go all the way down our ramp. Originally, I was going to place the lever right in front of the ramp, but that would have blocked the wagon, which is, well, not smart. Here comes the wagon. Choo-choo. Which is definitely not what a horse-drawn wagon sound makes, but whatever. So this is Sets of Corral. So taking a look at my agreements with them. I have no agreements whatsoever. Okay. Huh. But they're here. Hello. Let's trade. I sold most of the sort of trinkets that I had last trade, though, so I probably, other than gems, don't have much to sell. I know I haven't put the hives up. I'll do that as soon as I finish this. My promise. Is crossing your fingers... No, crossing your fingers is bad. I don't know. Whatever. But I'll be doing that. Come on. Where's my stuff? Yeah, this one. Sure. Barely anything in there. There's a lot more toys than I meant to make. I have 3 cut gems. I guess I'll send them in. But, oh no, there's another gem bin. I need to cut more gems, I guess. Yeah, I have a bunch of rough gems. I have like 37 rough gems. That's a box full of stuff. Alright, this looks good. Let's send the broker, and then let's also cut those 37 gems. All right, the levers are now linked, so if I needed to, I could pull it At this point, only wall climbers would be able to get in. Even now, the perimeter that I have set up would offer me some protection. But I'm going to design it so that it's not just some protection, but maximized in all cases except for flyers. And I could design it for flyers as well if I wanted to, and maybe I'll get around to that if it becomes a revoted priority. But I don't want to spend too much time on something, on one task. You're still unloading? Man, I finished faster than you did. And you just sent my broker to sleep, so you wait for me now. Ha 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 ha. All right, next up on this wall, one thing I wanted to do is I want it there to be an overhang. So what I'm going to be doing here is creating a floor. Oh, right, I need stairwell. So first creating a stairwell up there. So that would be constructions, stairs. I'll put them here, up. Shale blocks. And this is so that I can use the walls that I have as a method to shoot with crossbowmen down upon other enemies. And let's check in on Shem, the crankiest man alive. So, help someone acquire object, be friends, think creatively, be creative. Man, most of your demands... I'm gonna have Shem not make bauxite gems anymore. And... have you guys vote. I tried to make him happy, he's still not happy. What do you think I should do? Keep him? Not keep him? That's up to you. He was our tavern keep, but he is... well, I guess that's kind of true in real life. Bartenders tend to be super depressed as well. But, yeah, he's a big old sad sack. And you guys can decide on whether I expel him or not. So, next year, they want toys. Oh, interesting. Well, I can make a whole lot of toys. Let's see. Is Happy... Happy is not at the depot yet. Come on, Happy. There we go. They've got... I want peafowl, not peacock. Oh, why all the animals that could possibly lay eggs are all happen to be male? You're killing me. You know that what that means is I'm not going to end up with buying any of this stuff. Just cow leather. There doesn't seem to be much to hunt on this map tile, so buying things like cow leather, pretty helpful. Buy the plumps. Yeah, that's it. All my Cowlanites making good porcelain stuff for sale. Cool. Okay, you guys seem to want to keep Shem. You still have a little bit more time to vote, though, so if you haven't voted, feel free. I'm not trying to encourage it, I just wanted to have it as an option. Now let's go ahead and remove the ramps here as well. Almost down to the dolomite layer where I don't have to keep working. Would I like some donkey cheese aged in a cave? You know, as much as that sounds delicious, which it doesn't, I don't want any ass cheese. Thank you. What did Shem do? Shem has just been super complaining this whole time. Take a look at Shem. Shem has needs of, like... Shem wants to steal stuff from me and be friends with someone, and nobody wants to be friends with him. Shem's just a downer. Shem didn't do anything, though. It's not his fault. He's just made that way. Alright, Shem, you are going to make a bauxite... If we're keeping you, you're going to make a bauxite statue so that you can be creative. Shem wants a friend, and all I've done is insult him. I know. I'm really painting myself as the bad man. I get this. So constructions, floors. So this is an overhang that overhangs over the moat so that climbers cannot climb. Doesn't stop flyers, but it at least stops the climbers. And this will go all the way around, except for, of course, where our bridge is. And then I can put a floor underneath the bridge to stop climbers that way. Maybe one layer down or something. I'll have to figure that out. And then I'm just providing extra flooring around where the staircases are. Enemy can't use the stairs? No, the stairs are inside my perimeter. So, just so that you can visualize this, I will have a 3-deep moat around the perimeter, and at the top of the 3-deep moat is a wall, and above that wall is going to be a floor overhanging. So you'll have a 3-deep moat and a wall, and then the overhang, so that you can't climb up because there is an overhang. And then on top of the overhang, I'm going to put fortifications so that I can shoot out, but only elite enemies will be able to shoot in. Shem, you're staying. Congratulations. You've barely won your right to stay. Okay, I need to get rid of that leather backpack. I've been like, I don't want backpacks, and I just keep making leather backpacks. Hey, Iron Dwarves, I hope that you have... Oops. I hope that you have... spent a good amount of time off duty, because I am reconscripting you. Alright, we are now done with that whole level. So this is the last channel. Channel and remove ramps will be down to the stone level. So I'm going, again, to reiterate, I'm going down to the stone level so that trees cannot grow out of my moat, ruining my moat. Because tree branches can offer... Tree branches can act as bridges. Kaiju, thank you for the gifted subs. Cheers. So many gifted subs this stream. What do you guys think I should do next? I'll leave that up to you. So do you think I should continue on a moat, or other defenses, or do something entirely different? The choice is yours and yours alone. Something I should do is update the pen pasture zone so that the pen/pasture does not include areas outside the walls, keeping my animals in. At some point I will also have to update the burrows to accommodate for this new perimeter wall as well. But that's not urgent until I'm attacked. So I can sleep on that for a bit. Do trees close to the moat external side represent an opportunity to cross my moat? Yes, hypothetically they do. And what I often do is I pave around the externals, 3 tiles or so, as in an abundance of caution. If you're very, very paranoid, like that might be worth doing, but as you can see, sometimes the branches will extend. At the moment, none of those trees look to be a threat, but it's very easy to grow complacent, assuming that your defenses will work, and then they don't, because of a bridge. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress, Taming the Wilds, which originally streamed live on Twitch, January 10th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhodamont.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell.